Hi everyone, it's Kate from The Folder and I'm back this week. We are doing the sew down this week, so this is our monthly roundup of stuff that we found interesting and think that you might like in the world of sewing. So I've got quite a few things to talk to you about this month, and yeah, I'm going to get cracking with my first. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is a fabric that I bought that I was hoping I would be wearing as the finished outfit today. But I will show you what happened and you will understand why it hasn't happened. So this fabric is from the Draper's Daughter, and I'll pop a link down below to it, and it is totally and utterly beautiful. So it's a Japanese fabric and it's got this sort of painty effect along the bottom, and it's just beautiful. It's got sort of like, you can see like slight shades of brown, and it's not a sort of full black and grey, but I absolutely love it. And what I wanted to make was the Helmi Tunic with it, which I thought would be a perfect match for it. Let me show you what happened. So I was, I don't know if anyone else has done this. I felt quite proud of myself. I bought the PDF. I was like, I'm not going to stick it together. No, I'm going to pay the copy shop to do this. So sent off the files along with some other stuff I was getting printed, and this is what happened. That's the bodice piece, just to give you an idea of scale. I mean, so I could basically make one for a 5-year-old child and not for myself. So really annoying, because once you've paid to have it printed, you psychologically prep yourself that you're not going to have to stick it together. And now if I want to make it, I think I'm going to have to. So yeah, if anyone has a child who wants a Helmi Tunic dress from Name Clothing, I have got the perfect sizes. So that was quite frustrating, so I've still got yet to make that, so I'm in a ready to wear top today because I didn't get time. Right, so what else have I got? So cool stuff. The first thing, they're sort of sewing tools. Some people might have these already, but I'm sharing stuff that I've bought recently that I think have kind of changed my sewing game. So if anyone has not bought one of these, go buy one. It's a Tailor's ham. These are fantastic for pressing over a curve. So for example, when you've finished sewing your top and you want to press, round here, and to get all the little, where you've gathered around the sleeve head, this is what you need. It's so easy to use. You kind of pull it over and press, and then you'll get rid of any marks or like little ruckles in the fabric. It's also great if you're putting anything that you're pressing on a curve. It's fantastic. I have been using, up until this point, I just get a bit of fabric and fold it into a big pile and then try and press on the curve, but this is really worth having, and they're not very expensive. They're about £6 or £8, maybe £10 max. I can't remember how much this was, but not very much, but they're so worth having. I'd really recommend these. Just, if I haven't said this already, I'll pop links down below to everything that I talk about so you can go and have a look. Yeah, so this is really highly recommended. The next thing, tool wise, so any of you who've watched me on Instagram will have noticed recently that I made a quilt, and a lot of people cut out fabric with a rotary cutter already. I am retro and don't, but I've just bought myself a new rotary cutter, and it is this one. It is also very pretty. That's what made me want it in the first place. But it's, so I don't know if you can see, but let's put it up here. It's, when you leave it, it just stands up, which is quite handy, so it's not falling over. When you want to use it, you take off the safety catch, and you just, this little thing goes away and then the blade's out. So it's actually, because I basically live in fear that I'm going to cut my finger off, but this one actually is really good because it's almost, not impossible, but it's a lot harder to cut yourself with this and the way that you hold it and use it. So it's super sharp. It's got really nice, like, comfy grip on it as well. So yeah, I'd really recommend this one. The brand is so easy, but yeah, it's really nice and very pretty. So who doesn't want one? The next thing is my new, so it's my birthday this week, and thank you to everyone who left me lots of lovely messages. So my birthday present, I guess, was a new overlocker. And here she is. I'm going to move her closer to you. Sorry about that squeak. So I have got it's a Janome, or Janome. I never know how to say it. I'm going to go Janome. It's a Janome one, and it's the 6234XL. It's absolutely the best. I just love it. I'm so chuffed with it. In terms of price, it's sort of middle range, so it's about £450 to £500 retail, and that is probably, it is probably middle range, slightly, maybe sort of slightly higher end. It's got this very handy little thing to catch all your threads. It's just really fantastic. I absolutely love it. Anyone who either came to the Sewing Weekender or has ever done a class at Sew Over It, these are the machines that we used. They're just like proper, like no messing around, nothing goes wrong. I actually bought them because we had them at Sew Over It and we never ever had any issues with them. The only slight niggly thing about them is that of the overlockers, they are slightly harder to thread, but saying that, once you've got the hang of it, it's fine. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's my new best friend. My boyfriend is getting bored of me talking about it all the time and basically coming in here and stroking it every now and again. So I'm super pleased with that. What else have I got to talk to you about? Okay, so I've got a few sort of things. So next weekend we are going to be at the Sewing Bee live show in London, and anyone who is coming, please come and say hello to us. Our stand is right next to the entrance, so we're sort of using it as like an informal place for everyone in the sewing community to come and have a gossip and meet up with friends. We're also doing a pattern and fabric swap on the stand, so if you've got any old patterns or fabric that you want to bring it along and you can swap it for something else. If you can't bring stuff with you, no worries, you can happily take some of the stuff that's there. But we thought it'd be a really nice thing to do, and we just want to meet all of you guys, so we will have lots of like games and stuff happening on the stand, and there's prizes. We've got some cool stuff as prizes, so yeah, do come and say hello. We are on stand F8, but as I say, it's right in the entrance, so please come and say hello to us and we'll be there. Bring us gin or sweets, you know, that would be very helpful. We're there for 4 days. I'll definitely need a lot of sweets. Yeah, so we're really excited about meeting everyone, and yeah, we've just got to like go and set up the stand. We've never done this before, so I'm sure it will be fairly hilarious. But we will keep you updated on Instagram stories of our trials and tribulations. The other thing I wanted to talk about is it's another sewing event that is called Sobrum. Lots of people come to this. It's up in Birmingham and it's organised by Charlotte from English Girl at Home, and it's on Saturday the 28th of October, and it should be really fun. So it's a big day where everyone comes together in Birmingham. We go shopping, well, we have tea and cake to start with, win. Then we go shopping for fabric, win. Then we have lunch, win. And then in the afternoon we go to Guthrie and Garney, which anyone who hasn't been there, it is pretty much the most beautiful fabric shop I've ever been in. It's a really lovely day. It's lovely to meet new people, and you know, quite a lot of us are on Instagram, we're all looking at each other and each other's feeds, but it's nothing like meeting people in real life and chatting, and it's basically a day to really nerd out about sewing with other people who are just as into it as you. So if you haven't been before, come along, it will be really fun. Rachel and I are going, and yeah, there's usually quite a lot of people. There's usually about kind of 60 or 70 people, so it's a big old event. But yeah, it should be really good, so do come along. Again, I'll pop links down below so you can go and have a read and register if you want to come, and it's all free, I should say. The other thing I want to talk to you about is anyone who hasn't been yet, it's I don't know when it opened, it was quite recently, so the Balenciaga exhibition at the V&A is out of this world. Anyone who hasn't been to see it, you have to just book tickets and go. You will not be disappointed. It's on until February next year, so you've got quite a long time to come and book your tickets. but it's just the most incredible exhibition. So Balenciaga, couture designer, he's Spanish. I mean, any of those sort of vintage, iconic images that you've seen of women in dresses, one of them will be his, and it's a kind of retrospect of his life. And there are, I mean, the quantity of stuff that they've got is absolutely amazing. They've also got other things like, I'm obviously as an ex-milliner very interested, they've got lots of hats and things as well. And yeah, it's just beautifully done. Well, obviously the V&A do everything perfectly in my opinion. It's a really fantastic exhibition and it's so worth going. I don't know how much the tickets are actually, because I'm a member. I would imagine, oh, I don't know, like £10 or £12 probably. But yeah, it's worth every penny. And then also you get to go and have lunch in the beautiful cafe afterwards. Win. So that's what I would recommend going and seeing this month. In terms of podcasts, now I need your help guys, because I'm getting a little bit dry on my podcast that I'm listening to, and I want some sort of new ones. Obviously I mentioned last month the Ready to Sew podcast. No, Love to Sew podcast. Anyone who hasn't listened to that, you must go and have a listen. It's about sewing, it's really fantastic, and the girls who are doing it, there's Helen from Helen's Closet and Caroline from Blackbird Fabrics, and it's really, I'm really enjoying it. I kind of look forward to it coming out every Tuesday. The other thing that I'm really enjoying listening to, which isn't, it's not a new podcast, but it's one that has just released a new series. It's the Startup podcast. So this is one by Gimlet Media, and if you haven't heard of Gimlet Media, just go on their website and enjoy, because all their podcasts are really fantastic. But the startup one I really enjoy. It's about startup businesses, and the new series has just started and it's quite interesting. So anyone who's sort of into sort of small creative businesses, and they're really fantastic at bringing like a really good story together with a sort of theme. So obviously that's what they're supposed to be good at. But yeah, I think that's really a really good one. The other thing that Rachel and I have got into, and this is nothing to do with sewing, is we've got really into listening to true crime podcasts, and I listen to them. So anyone who will have noticed, I listen to everything with my wireless headphones, because I can hear my podcast over the din of my Overlocker or sewing machine. But the true crime ones are so scary that I listen to them like this, but I have one ear out so that I can hear if a murderer is coming into my flat and killing me. So they're really fantastic. So the two that we are obsessed with are Case Files, which is really good. So he's Australian, yeah, he's Australian, the guy who does it, and to be honest with you, his voice does sound a little bit boring, but just stick with it if you like true crime, because it's really good. And the other one that I'm really enjoying is Court Junkie. So she goes through the whole like synopsis of a case, and you have all the recordings from the people in court, mainly American. But yeah, it's if you like true crime, and those ones are really good. But yeah, don't listen to them with headphones because you get scared, or maybe it's just me and my overactive imagination. Anyway, that is it for this week. I hope you enjoyed that, and we will be back soon with another video for you all, and we're really looking forward to seeing you at the Sewing Bee Live next week. Don't forget to bring us sweets. Sweets. Right, on that note, bye!